Yeah, what is going on? We are on, by the way. Hello, everyone. Just bear with us while we get everything set up here. While the cat's away.
Something like that.
You looking forward to your ATR adventure, yeah? No, I didn't think so.
I think it's an 8-year-old there and back as well.
During storm season? You weren't thinking that through, were you? Oh, you are, yeah? Well, if I'm here and you're shining a light, you're getting on. I just want to hear the screams. So, afternoon everyone. Welcome to our New Year's Eve stream. Sorry, I was just talking to Dean here. He was distracting me, quite rude of him. As you can hear, we also brought the fan club cheering us in the background. Dave Flynn, Dot, Ruby, Adrian, Sarah Jane, Noosh, Richard, Sheila, Len, Dean, Paddy in Spain, Charlotte, who else is there? Oisin, who else am I missing? Tess, and Matt. How are yous all? Now, we are getting just a little bit of sun at the moment, but it is going to disappear fairly rapidly behind this giant cloud formation. So you need to give me 2 seconds. I realised I didn't start something on the server. So that's why their widget wasn't working. Give me 1 second. You might get a little bit of instability for a moment while I log in remotely.
very good afternoon, Ryanair 71 Romeo Juliet.
Ryanair 71 Romeo Juliet Tower, good afternoon. Continue approach. Wind is 280 degrees at 7 knots.
Continue approach, Ryanair 71 Romeo Juliet.
Ryanair 91 Tango Echo, taxi right on Sierra, contact ground south, 11 that's white. Great. Control 8 on Sierra. Keep it 830 Delta, wind is 280 at 7, runway 3 left,
Unfortunately, it doesn't want to work, so we'll leave it alone. We won't mess around too much. Pratt, welcome. British Airways from Heathrow.
You're going to have a nose. In the bag.
What?
Having a nose.
You're looking for a shopping list, is it?
Anything you can do, like.
Convinced you're going to go turn up here one day wearing a Paul suit.
I did see one on TV.
Stallionable, welcome. This sun in front of us is killing us at the moment, but looks like this cloud front is going to move across it. I don't know, hopefully it does.
Testing.
Just a little broken, it's still good, I'm only guessing. Where do we put it? Sorry, we threw something on the ground. Right, 1 second. We'll deal with this sun. Apply the old lens hood. Now.
And FI1 X-ray Victor, good afternoon. Continue approach, wind is 280 degrees at 7 knots. And 71 Romeo Juliet, location Sierra 5, taxi right on Sierra.
Sierra 5, right Sierra is Ryanair 71 Romeo Juliet.
Samok 6 November Lima, wind is 280 at 6
May, Bruce, Pratt, welcome.
Ryanair 71 Romeo Juliet, contact ground south, 1105. Correct. Ryanair 71 Romeo Juliet.
You checking to see whether I laced it or not? New Year's Eve spent on the bog. Never trust a random coffee.
Just chilling.
I'm working.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're in the building.
So chilling. Yeah. Yeah. No. After this, I'm in work. So that's why I was always starting later anyway. So it didn't matter. As I was saying to you yesterday, if you were going early. At least Dean didn't spill this coffee. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yesterday I had these flasks in the back of the car and I went to move, forgot about it, jumped on over.
Still not as bad as Will spilling the full hot chocolate in the van, right into the carpet.
Did it stink after a while?
Every now and then it still does it.
I remember a couple of years ago, I was about football, and bringing a young fella, he got car sick. Wasn't like him.
Oh, no.
Everywhere. Came up as far as the dash and the windscreen, everything.
Yeah. We had that. Eric fell in school and the school rang us and he'd hit his head and they wanted him to go to Temple Street, so I said I'd drive in, there's no point waiting. And we were driving in and he started vomiting in the back of the car and I was like, me racing in the road, vomit hitting the back of my head. Is Birthday Brian in the chat?
Was that on earlier on?
He was he?
Yeah.
Look at the birds in the background. Oh my god. Out over the trees. That's a murmuration.
That's a cloud.
No, they're here. Have a look at your. If you're watching the stream, have a look now. Right across the flight path. Mar, welcome. Gavin, Happy New Year to you. That doesn't sound healthy, does it?
No. Sounds like an old Ford Cortina or something.
Hat with the all blue winglets.
So flop, wasn't it? I'm gonna guess they were starlings.
They're gone now by the looks of things.
Nice overhead.
Looks like a Dreamliner overhead. Adrian says he takes his hat off to that one. EI hat. The look of pain on Dean's face when I said that.
There you go, he has to go and strain his bisc.
It's one of those cool new lingos, is it? Having to strain the biscuits. I always thought it was spuds. No? winglet, yeah? Look. Hey, hey, hey. Patrick, afternoon to you.
The gear away, I think.
My hope that this cloud would move across the sun and give us a little bit of relief is not coming to pass. Happy New Year, dude. Safe home. Say hello to everyone. Dean is off. I like the sun. It makes the planes look pretty. You can suffer. Thank you. Nice. Real nice. Sergey, welcome along. So, as Dean heads away, the plan today, we'll throw 2-3 hours at it for New Year's Eve. I do have to finish up between 4 and half 4 going to work. So, let's see what happens. I am feeling a little under the weather. I'm not sick, but I'm at that stage where I think I'm going to be sick in a couple of days, you know, that kind of way. So you'll understand if I'm coughing or a little quiet. I could just go home, but yeah, I'm only messing. Patricia, welcome. ATR. Yeah, Matt, I almost gonna cancel. It's just, like I said, I'm not actually sick, but I'm just at that stage where, do you know that you kind of know, like maybe 24 hours beforehand you're coming down with something, that kind of way. I don't know. It's also that weird time of year where no one has a clue what day of the week it is or what we're doing, other than I know I have to go to work. When you work New Year's Eve, who do you smooch at midnight? No one, I work alone at the moment. Also, that would be highly inappropriate for the workplace. Well, Jimmy, fingers crossed it's the same for me, like I said. Maybe it's just the feeling of the body fighting it off. James, same to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you all.
Contact ground 121 flight. Roger 5 on 0. Alright, 9 Tango November, 728 Airways, 8 knots, runway 28 left, turn left.
By Wingman. So the Manchester are 3, seat 28 on the left. So that's 28, what, A, B, C, D, E, F? 28F, possibly? No, A. Sorry, I'm thinking look on this side. Patrick, thank you very much. Patrick, after gifting 5 memberships to the Spotters Club. I shall be reminded as it approaches. Thank you.
Call 5 and 2
So 28A, we'll see it on the turn here, hopefully.
Sherlock 4, Tango Hotel, Sierra 5, right turn Sierra, contact.
It's nice, it's sunny, but obviously extremely cold. At home it was only 2 degrees. At the airport here it's about 4 or 5, and temperatures to drop over the coming days. There is some very slight chance of snow, but unlikely the way the weather patterns are developing as the better, what they call high resolution models are picking up the weather. It's to be cold, but it could only be for about 2-3 days, and the chances of snow are minimal. Patrick, thank you very much. I know I say this all the time, but this helps me dramatically. It's an outlet, put it that way. To be able to turn up and just focus on what I'm doing and forget about other stuff that's happening. So, yeah, thank you very much for being with me for 2025. And let's see what 2026 holds.
Sherlock 5, we've gone Sierra 5, right Sierra, contact ground, 1-1 decimate.
Sierra 5, Sierra 1-1 decimate. Sherlock 3, go, thanks, go.
Sherlock 643, between 290 degrees, ladder off runway 28 left, clear to land.
Clear land, 28 left, Sherlock 643.
Really slow rollout from Aer Lingus, taking their time. Yeah, Matt, like I said, oh, there we go, the sun is finally starting to get clouded out. It's the same here, it is quite cold. Thankfully, the breeze isn't as cutting as it was for the 747 the other day. Finding them really tightly spaced the last little while. Normally we're able to stay fixed on one, get the wave and find the other one on a decent final, but they're much closer today after we turn away from the wave. Hello you. David, Happy New Year to you too.
Turn Sierra, contact ground, 1-1 decimate.
Right, Sierra 128, Sherlock 643, go, thanks.
Ruby, yes it is. I know I say this frequently, but I already have something in the works. Normally when I'm planning something comes along and gets in the way that means I can't go, but I am planning something alright. Freddie, same to you. Happy New Year. Thank you for being with us. Sound-wise, how are the new microphones holding up? Are they okay? Particularly when we have aircraft in front. I'm not talking about hearing me. Elaine, Happy New Year to you. Patricia says, sounds fine. Okie dokie. We'll take Patricia's word for it, and if she's lying, it's her fault. Shane, most welcome. We may flick to manual focus in a minute, just if this keeps jumping around too much. But Patricia, I'm the host, so there's nothing they can do about it. Nicole, we do get Air Baltic from Riga, A220s.
I'm on off uniform right Sierra, contact ground, 121 flight.
President Sierra 6 Sierra, 121 decimal 8, and
Kept up 1,000, 29 with 8 knots from wind way left turn left. Airline,
Our next arrival will be an ATR from Southampton. It's New Year's Eve. Let's all take it handy and not be stressing about things. Sounds like a motorcycle in the distance on the way. So one end too dark, the other end too bright. Can't win.
Air 3 right Sierra, contact ground 18, Happy New Year. Air 3, Sierra's 118, so 1 Delta, thank you, good luck. 65 Sierra Charlie, 729, derivation 8 knots, on my way, not clear to land. Clear to land, to left, running 65 Sierra Charlie.
Looks like it has a Qatar on the underbelly. Michael, thank you very much. Michael, after gifting 5 memberships to you all in the Spotters Club. I believe we do only have 2 heavies scheduled during the stream. It's going to be the A330 from Las Vegas and an A330 from Malaga. If we're here long enough, we may see the 7-6 cargo arrival. We shall see. T7 BOSS. That was the A319 that Dean got earlier on, ACJ. So it's an all-executive Airbus A319. It's owned by Asian Corporate Aviation. That's the BizJet Airbus that arrived earlier. T7 Boss registration. And if you're really that way inclined, you can actually get that as a livery in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Michelle, happy birthday to you. It's also our moderator Brian's birthday, but I'm waiting for him to appear if he does.
Sherman 363, Sierra 5, right Sierra, contact ground, 121, that's fine. Sierra 5, Sierra, ground 118, Shamrock 363, happy New Year. Sherman 9, Mike Romeo, 729, 087, knots, runway 28 left, turn left.
This is Las Vegas, I believe. There was to be a second Chicago movement, but for those of you who, like me, were watching overnight, Chicago got some very, very heavy snow. So EI992. I can't remember whether it was DAA or Duo. They were both in Chicago. One made it out, the other one didn't. However, the one that did make it out was 3 hours late.
Short 9, Mike Romeo, Sierra 5, right turn Sierra, contact ground 121, that's fine. Sierra 5.
Alias, thank you very much after gifting 10 memberships to the Spotters Club. Fair play, everyone.
Binary 4, 729, 087, knots, runway 28 left, turn left. Cheers, man, 28 left, binary 4.
Anka, welcome along. Sarah Jane, I'm working later this evening, so the plan for me will be, if I get a chance, BigJet is live from 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. for his New Year's Eve stream, which he always does. And then you flick over, if you're chasing the New Year's, you can fly over to LA Flights who are in JFK. They'll also be doing a New Year's stream. Joe, welcome back.
Left turn land. Binary 4, right Sierra, contact ground 121, decimal 8 today.
Right Sierra, 121, decimal 8, Ryanair A4, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Tess says, cozy inside with hot chocolate for me. No big planes here. There's one there. I am joking, by the way. I misread that on purpose, just in case. We don't want to upset anyone. Maybe Julie will stop by. I think he's been well and truly cast aside after the lottery was confirmed not to be him, you know. A321 Neo next. Aer Lingus from Paris. Same to you, Anka. Same to you. Yeah, we're probably going to have to go manual. We shall see. That answers that question. Carrick, the millionaire raffle is on tonight, I think, so still a chance for you. Still a chance. Gary Gold, welcome along. Annie was in a hotel, Julie.
Continue right Sierra, contact ground 121.8. Bye.
Sierra ground 121.8. Bye.
Well, I didn't even recognise it. No bike. I was like.
That's really good.
How are you? Good Christmas?
Not too bad,
Yeah.
I've been sick the last few days. So
I was just saying there, I feel like I'm coming down with something myself, yeah.
I've been out here in months. I said I'd come out just
Yeah.
final day, see what happens.
Yeah. Why not? Sure, it's New Year's, you know?
Have a celebration day.
Yeah. See you later.
Happy New Year.
Same to you. ATR from Manchester next, EI5. That's Michael. Not on his push bike today, so didn't even realise it was him. Hanka says, actually work near Lotto HQ. Many times I've gone there by dreaming, wondering would it be one day me claiming my prize. So what you're saying is you've stood outside lurking to see if you can ambush a ticket. We know what you're like. Sam, how do? Welcome to everyone joining us. Nice, calm and relaxed New Year's Eve stream. So, for those of you in the chat that may have to go in and claim a lottery prize, watch out for Anka standing outside with a baseball bat looking for your ticket. Ruby already has her plan for when she wins the lottery. Ruby's cow and pigeon sanctuary. Factory. No. Wrong person. That's if Adrian wins the lottery. Although, what he's going to do with Kentucky Fried Pigeon is beyond me. I would buy an entire fleet of ATRs and an Aston Martin. Yeah. I'd probably go for the little Piaggio P180 myself. Guys, my 14-year-old daughter is taking her first flight alone tomorrow to London. I'm so worried about her getting there safe and sound. She's meeting her aunt in Heathrow. Can anyone tell me any tips? Well, I presume, obviously, being 14, that you're having to use the assistance services who will bring her to the plane. So she should be good. They're very good at what they do. Car spotter, Happy New Year to you as well. Nice little bit of aero braking there by the Ryanair, keeping the front wheel elevated. Aero braking is using the aerodynamics of the aircraft to slow down instead of putting too much stress on the reversers or the brakes. Keeping the nose up slightly allows the underside of the aircraft to catch more air and slow it down, creating drag.
Thank you, many have returned. 605 Tango, wind 290 degrees 7,
Can I get it? No. Why not? Because it's a Dash 8. There it is. Trevor, that is correct. It's meant to be quite cold this evening. The real temperature drop occurs Friday night though. That's when it's the drop. It's mostest. Dashi approved. Patrick has to head off. Very happy new year to Paul and family and to all the greater Dubjet family. See you in 2026. Patrick, same to you. Happy new year. Someone mentioned a 747. There was a comment made on one of the videos I was looking at that the Silkway is going to be in a few times over the next little while. I haven't seen that confirmed though, so I won't give a solid yes. Again, not my post, it's just what I've read. Tom, hope you're well, and Happy New Year to you and the crew. Yeah, Trevor, it's the main snow risk currently is the northern half of the country from Monday, when an Atlantic air mass meets that cold that's descending down, but it could be short-lived. Mar, I know it's natural to be worried, obviously, as a parent, but the airport and the crews inside are well used to dealing with younger people being escorted through. They'll make sure they're on the plane safely, and then there'll be someone on the other side to meet them, usually. And because it's London, if they're arriving from Dublin, there's no messing around or passport control. She'll be able to walk straight out to the ant waiting for her. Michael Kelly, thank you very much. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, Carca, it's going to be a very much a nowcast situation on Monday. All the models are struggling with it, won't it? And it'll all depend on whether this, like I said, this Atlantic air mass, where it meets the cold. Even when the majority of Europe and the UK get battered with cold weather and snow, we tend to have a little bit of a shield from the Atlantic. So there's been previous years where the UK comes to a grinding halt because of snow, and that air mass from the Atlantic just keeping us protected that little bit. Don't get me wrong, snow is nice unless you have to go somewhere, or even for a day or so, it's grand. But when it persists and brings everything to a grinding halt, like we discussed before, this country, obviously because it's so rare, there's no real infrastructure behind it to keep everything open and moving. So you see other countries where snow doesn't stop a thing, the roads remain open, remain perfectly fine and safe. Not the case here, unfortunately. There just isn't. And despite, if you remember, after the beast from the east in 2018, we were told, oh, this won't happen again, we'll have all this stuff in place and all this equipment ready to go. You can guarantee there's none of that. Sometimes they still don't pay the gritters to go out on bank holidays. So, in normal weather, never mind when there's snow.
Shamrock 39 Alpha, Vicky 05 on Sierra.
Sierra 5, Sierra, Shamrock 39 Alpha.
Shamrock 39 Alpha, contact ground, 121 decimal 8. Bye.
Ruby says, snow sucks. There, I said it. Like I said, if you have to get anywhere, it does. If you're able to sit at home and not go out, yeah, perfect.
Good, let's play the left 4, 8, 8.
Michael, the thing about the liquid restrictions, it's all well and good going out through Dublin where there's none anymore and leaving your electronics in your bag. But you have to plan where you're coming back from, because if you're coming back from Spain or any of them, they all still have the liquid restrictions. So don't plan to bring something, if you're only having a carry-on bag, don't plan to bring something through Dublin that won't get through your return journey. It is great. It has made things a lot smoother. We've got a Wookiee. But where people are getting caught out is then coming back from the likes of short trips to Spain or Europe, and their liquids been taken off them and been made bin them because other airports haven't lifted their restrictions. Dublin ahead of the game again. Fair play to them. The new C3 scanners, fully functional, making things easier. They're going to go Sierra 4 to avoid us? No, keep coming. Come on.
Vacate Sierra 5 Sierra and indicated contact ground 121 decimally. Bye-bye.
I was going to say Paddy in Spain, but it's just Paddy Spain now. How do? Restrictions still in place in Malaga. Do it. I was reading a couple of articles that are like end of year roundup for aviation and stuff, and the biggest thing for 2026 to watch out for will be Pratt Whitney engines. So while the Pratt & Whitney engine woes have plagued the A320neo and the A220, apparently that was an A380, correct? It is to get worse in 2026. There's already been a number of airlines that have actually folded due to their engine issues, particularly an Indian carrier who went all out. All their Neos were Pratt & Whitney, and they ended up with 40 aircraft grounded, couldn't maintain business and went under. So obviously the A220s are heavily affected. A number of airlines will be without 40% of their aircraft during 2026 due to maintenance schedules brought forward, early failures and risks of early failure in the 220 Pratt & Whitney engine. But apparently what isn't being highly publicised just yet is that there's another Pratt & Whitney engine on 777s that's now showing early signs of fatigue. Yeah, the triple Swiss went behind the clouds while I was looking at the 380. I did see it, but
1028 left, respond.
we do have an ATR inbound. So the A220s were suffering early fatigue signs in the fan blades due to imperfections, and it's on the 320s as well, due to imperfections in the manufacturing process. But they reckon because all these maintenance schedules have been brought forward, there's going to be a shortage of materials and parts to get them all done within the window. So, Ruby, I am on that yet, so I don't know whether you all know or not. So, Captain Bob from Nomadic Aviation has launched a social media platform solely for aviation, whether you be an enthusiast or actually involved in the industry. The app is called Kitty Hawk. You'll find it on the Android store or the Play Store. I have nothing to do with it, just the fact that I'm using it. But it's Captain Bob from Nomadic Aviation. If you remember, we saw them bring in the Saudi cargo. They obviously have a huge social media presence themselves with cockpit casual video series and stuff. But yeah, Kitty Hawk is their new social media platform. It's aimed at enthusiasts, but it's also aimed at those involved in the aviation, almost like a mixture of Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn for aviation. Richard, thank you very much. Gifting 1 membership. But yeah, Kitty Hawk is the name of that app, should you be so interested. Said, Happy New Year to you as well. Adrian is back after spending an extended period of time straining his biscuits. I think it just naturally takes longer as you get older, but look. Well, Tom, this is what they're saying with the number of forced maintenance schedules this year. Airlines are going to struggle to maintain what they currently operate, which obviously will mean reduced operation and increased prices.
Ryanair 63 Golf Juliet. No, wind 290 degrees 8 knots. Runway 28 left. Airstand.
Runway 28 left, just left, and Air 63 Golf Juliet.
I'll try it now a little bit brighter. There we go. Another overhead, but unfortunately cloud cover blocking the view. Someone on flight radar tell me what the prop noise is directly above me. Sounds heavy. See it? Oh, it's not a prop, it's a jet on upwind. So looks like recently departed Ryanair on the upwind leg, other side of the runway here. Strain the biscuits. Oh. I imagine that's the noise dove crow makes in their head when they're walking around. Someone asked me, did I not bring seeds for dove crow? I imagine airport wouldn't be too happy if you start feeding the birds beside the runway. Stephen, how do? And Happy New Year to you. That's definitely the noise in my head. Twoo. Avro, welcome along. Ado, same to you. Happy New Year. I know he's not here, but we'll do it while it's quiet. It is our moderator, Brian's birthday. hoping it works. Next arrival will be an Aer Lingus A330 from Birmingham, just joining the ILS. Then Ryanair from Lanzarote. We do have a potential Cargo Lux. Oh, it's Cargo Lux with the mask. Looks like it might be a direct overhead. We just need a gap in the clouds. I don't think we're going to get it though. A340 going to pass north of Drogheda as well. Ado throwing shade. I love it. Alistair, welcome back and Happy New Year to you. New Year to you, even. It's the cold. Blame the cold. I'm going to monitor the situation over the next couple of weeks. Normally, we'll do a combination of either Monday, Wednesday and Friday on the streams, but Wednesdays look like the actual quietest day of the week during the current autumn-winter schedule. So we'll probably aim for Mondays and Fridays.
Straight left.
Stephen, I haven't seen nothing. Where did you read that from, Stephen? And I'll go checking it out. Sam, no, you won't need a passport between Manchester and Belfast as it's technically deemed as domestic travel. Depends though, Ryanair have a rule, no passport, no fly, doesn't matter where you're going. You have to have a passport to get on a Ryanair plane. But Manchester to Belfast is technically looked at as internal travel. The similar flying to like Manchester to Heathrow. Again, Patricia, technically you don't. The common travel area between Ireland and the UK allows free movement once you can verify your citizenship. So, but again, doesn't make a difference with Ryanair. They won't let you on the plane unless you show a passport. There's other airlines that are a little bit more lax, but Ryanair have a no passport, no fly rule on all their routes. Yeah, Patricia, I was in Heathrow. Was it last year myself and Will went over to John, or the year before? And we were in Heathrow. And the boarding gates, crafty little boarding gates, scan your boarding pass and they take your picture. I know a lot of European airports operate e-gates for your passport, but they don't store your picture. I would imagine the boarding gates in Heathrow do. Incoming snoot boop. Who's saying that? So that 747 almost directly overhead, but unfortunately nothing but cloud. They just want a before and after travel picture, yes. You know the saying that if you look at like your passport picture, you're not actually well enough to travel. Retro is getting ready to leave on the other side. Okay. It's so busy this side though, I might not be able to get it.
Ryanair 75 Mike Mike Tower, good afternoon. The wind is 300 degrees 7 knots. Runway 28 left, clear to land.
Have they got them fitted?
Ryanair 75 Mike Mike.
Plows fitted to the Tara cores. So the tractors over in Snowbase have been fitted with their ploughs just in case. So I can actually hear that 747, just can't see it. Sorry about that. If you do get a gap in the clouds further west of my location, it is the cargo lux with the giant mask. Ruby, obviously different rules for them, because I know for a fact that the e-gates, well, they do scan your face to match the biometrics on your passport and your picture, they're not allowed to store. But obviously UK broke away from EU regulations, so interesting what the reasoning behind taking your picture with your boarding pass is. Stephen, if there's snow and I can get to the airport safely, yes. However, I'm not going to put myself or anyone else at risk by driving to the airport in snow if I don't have to. Is the Sky Up in today? I think it's Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays for Sky Up. They have been bringing in the Shakhtar Donetsk liveried 737. So going to the US, they take your phone now and everything. Uh-oh. So the regulations state now that they can ask you to hand over your phone and passwords for social media accounts when travelling through pre-clearance here in Dublin. Turkish 787 divert to DFW, about to depart, and then Retro will be behind that. Okay, we'll do what I can. That's right, Anne. They will ask you to make all your social media accounts fully public, no privacy locks on them. That's part of the ESTA application now. The visa travel waiver program, you have to apply for it, I think it's 90 days, up to 90 days in advance before traveling to the US for short stay. And your social media accounts, if you have any, must be public and you must provide the links to them. So we have a Turkish Dreamliner lining up north side to depart, and then behind that will be our retro Aer Lingus. Diverted in earlier on a medical emergency, continuing on its way to DFW now. And next up should be retro. Qatar turned left, and I can hear it overhead actually, Adrian. Yes, it's very strange. May, thank you for being here, and Happy New Year to you and yours. 132.580, Stephen, I believe. That's what I have here. I do have the 4 frequencies set on the scanner, but I don't leave them running constantly because then there'd be no point in me talking. Although maybe that's what you want. Hey, Robinho. We're not going to be able to get it, it's too close. Where are you? Oh, he's down under. Boom.
Elegant, inspirational, divine, virtuous, majestic, retro,
Nothing
with
we can do about
the
the
cute
branches.
button nose.
Shark 629, tower good afternoon. 3003, 8 knots, runway 28 left, clear to land. 2 left, shamrock.
So if you actually have a look at the departure charts for Dublin, there is a mandatory frequency change after departure. They're not told to change, it's part of the departure chart. They move over to that frequency themselves automatically. But it's on the chart. I think I gave you the right one, unless I gave you area. Who knows? Matthew Wooden, can I have a shout out? It's my birthday. Matthew, happy birthday. The Robinho was being all stealthy, was staying in the bushes. We could only get him when he jumped down onto the concrete. I had a lovely chat with a Robin I met on a walk earlier. Well, I talked and he listened. Sandra.
Shamrock 159er Tower, good afternoon.
Thank you for 16 months
Number 1, wind is 290 degrees, 7 knots.
of pure torture. For you, I mean, not me. Just had to clarify that really quickly before a car blasted down the M1 and ran me over. Sorry, I was changing the brightness setting there. Really bright on approach, but then darker as they touch down.
Shamrock 629, vacate. Sierra 5, right Sierra, contact 121 decimal 8, bye.
Sierra 5, Sierra 118, Shamrock 629, bye-bye.
Shamrock 159, wind is 290 degrees, 7 knots, runway 28 left, clear to land.
Stand 28 left, Shamrock 159er.
Aaron, afternoon to you. Welcome along. Vegas, thanks for being here and Happy New Year to you. The streams from Nuke Airport, yeah. I reckon Dean would stream from there, no bother. When I arrived here earlier on, he was looking like an Arctic explorer with all the gear he was wearing. So one sec, I'll give you the other frequency I have, Stephen. The other frequency I have, Stephen, is 120750. Tom, thank you for 28 months. Look at that. Now, if we're talking about torture. I think that's delivery, Stephen, that I gave you by the sounds of things. I'm listening to it there now. Dreamweaver, Erica, congrats and thank you for 16 months. nil by wave and humour. Aer Lingus crew today. Our A330 from Malaga just over Bray. ATR next in though. I can't imagine how cold it is for him standing out. I know there's webcams. I didn't realise there was a streamer there as well. Jer Clark, Happy New Year to you. You forgive me now. I held off as long as I could. I've put my gloves on, so. Things won't be as smooth. They coming down to us? Looks like it.
Yankee Alpha, Sierra 5, right Sierra, contact 1.
Massive layers, onion 10x. And me with my mere 3x, huh? Patricia, thank you. Patricia's after gifting 5 memberships to the Spotters Club. ERB, Happy New Year to you. Dreamweaver will be lurking. Happy New Year to you. So, as we were discussing, Wednesdays appear to be the quietest day of the schedule currently. Tweet tidy. Give it some zoom. No, that way. Thank you. This is our A330 in from Malaga. So
Sure, 5-8 Poppin Tower, good afternoon. The wind is 290 degrees, 7 knots, runway 28 left, clear to land.
6 miles out. So for those of you that were watching Think Planes the other day, there was an Aer Lingus A330 stranded on the runway. They had declared an emergency before arrival. It looked like a hydraulic issue. They had to gravity drop the gear. You could tell because the doors were still open after as they were landing. So that's usually an indication that the main landing gear weren't working on hydraulic. So they used gravity and airspeed to drop the gear. It's a manual drop. It's a lever they select in the cockpit that lets the gear doors open and the gear drops using gravity and the speed of the aircraft in the air. That's why you see nose wheels fold forward. So when they gravity drop them, the air will push them backwards. That was Ella, I think, Geila, the Manchester-based A330. So the gravity system lets the gear drop down naturally, and then 3 pins slide across, one on each of the struts, obviously, to prevent them from retracting again on touchdown. But that's why they declare an emergency, just in case, because they don't get the same level of assurance from a hydraulic deployment of the gear to a manual deployment of the gear. Depending on the hydraulic issues, they may have had steering issues as well, so that could be why they stopped instead stationary on the runway and were towed to stand. Adrian, thank you very much. Adrian, after gifting 5 memberships to the Spotters Club. But go back and have a look anyway. Simon from Think Planes was live for it, got it all very well. Crew done very well, because obviously they don't like landing with the gear doors open. It reduces their ground clearance, but they done very well. The gear doors didn't come in contact with the ground, so
Papa right Sierra, contact 121 destination. Right Sierra, 121 destination. Goodbye, 125 vehicle. Ryanair 12 uniform Mike with 290 degrees, 7 knots, runway 28 left, clear to land. Ryanair 1.
Kyle says, thanks for filming the DFW takeoff. I'll be out in Dallas seeing her land later. Nice. The jingle bongs retired until next Christmas, huh? I always laugh when the first officer waves and then realises that the captain isn't waving and the hand goes down really fast. We've had that happen twice today, once on a Ryanair and on that 330 there as well. First officer, all happy to wave, realise he's the only one and goes, right, better stop. E or B, they should all be that colour. End of story. It's what makes Aer Lingus Aer Lingus. You can have green or you can have retro. Nothing else. Them's the rules. So pressure dropping from this time yesterday. Pressure yesterday was 1036. We're down to 1028 now. Still firmly classed as high pressure though.
Same to you, thanks, all the best. Schumacher 7 Alpha Charlie, wind 2 on Air 0 degrees 7 knots for runway 28 back from Sir Salon.
Derek, Happy New Year to you as well. John, how do? Happy New Year to you. VA3 FDG, thank you very much and welcome along. Normally we do have a little widget at the top of the screen telling you what these are arriving and where they're from, but for some reason I'm not able to log into my receiver at home. I think it's after disconnecting. Ronan, they are guided down by the ILS system, Instrument Landing System. Basically, if you have a look on Flight Radar or any of the tracking apps, you'll see there's a point, a waypoint known as LAPMO, L-A-P-M-O, just out in the Irish Sea. where when they cross that point, they lock on to what's called the localizer here at Dublin Airport. I'll show it to you now in a second. Nil by waves. Snow up on the mountains. So there's two systems involved. It's a ground system that communicates with the autopilot. You'll see that mast system there, and down at the start of the runway you have another system there which is for vertical and horizontal guidance. Those masts basically scan the location of the aircraft through radio frequency and communicate to the autopilot its angle of attack and speed. Well, not speed, speed is set by the crew, but basically the angle of attack descent rate is done for them up until usually around 1,500 feet or 1,000 feet when they take over and do it manually themselves. Tom, chat to you next year. I done my mandatory leaving the house to the family. See you all next year. So EI 209 in from Manchester next, and we have a possible torch in seat 28A. On the Airbus, because I only know that because that's what I use in Microsoft Flight Sim. On the Airbus, the onboard computer will actually pinpoint for the crew what's called their top of descent, which is basically the point at which they should start descending for their approach into their destination. However, they will also be guided by ATC. ATC will tell them when they can and cannot descend. They can't make that decision themselves. They can ask for a lower level, but they will be guided by ATC as to what they have to do. Is it going to go Sierra 4 on us? It is.
Short 209, you're in Sierra, contact 121 decimal 8, bye.
There's your torch.
Delta, wind 290 degrees, 7 knots, runway 28 left, clear to land. Clear to land to the left, chance stone, 1 Delta. Air 540 X-ray tower, good afternoon. Continue approach, your number 2, wind is 290 degrees, 7 knots. Copy, Ryanair 540 X-ray.
Most modern aircraft through the MCDU, the flight planning system, will also give them altitudes for climb rates and basically where they should be, but there is waypoints obviously that have altitude restrictions, so they have to be at certain altitudes by certain points on their flight journey. the likes of here at Dublin. Today we're on 28 left, so there are a number of approach paths for 28 left, but the last two that they will all use are Lapmo and Maxev, and there's two transition points either side of that where they will be at 5,000 feet and then allowed to descend freely to intercept the localizer, which is around 3,500-3,000 feet. I'm sure someone can correct me, for Dublin.
Good afternoon. Runner 1917, tower, good afternoon. Continue approach number 2, wind 290 degrees 7 knots. Jefferson 43 Delta, continue right Sierra, contact 121 decimal 8, goodbye. Continue right 121 4 feet Delta, goodbye. Runner 540 X-ray, wind is 290 degrees 8 knots, runway 28 left, clear to land. Is that runway 28 left?
So a lot of people listen to the tower, but if you actually listen to approach, which is 121 decimal 100, you'll hear the arriving aircraft, usually from about 8,000 feet downwards, being given their approach paths and what waypoints they have to hit. Kid, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for the torch. Obviously, on a runway like Dublin, which is Category 3 certified, the aircraft can actually land itself and come to a halt, all without pilot interaction other than monitoring and thrust reduction at about 20 feet above the runway. The aircraft will fly itself, and Autoland is the name of that feature. Used mostly in very low visibility conditions where the minimum visual requirements for being able to see the runway can't be applied.
X-ray right Sierra, contact 121 decimal 8, quiet. Right Sierra, 121 decimal 8, right here, right Sierra. Ryanair 1917, 37 knots, right back to the spot. One point land,
We'll go to manual focus now in a moment. As it gets that little bit darker, the camera will struggle with the lights. We are using the good camera though, so fading light isn't a problem. DJ, thank you very much. To be fair, a lot of it has been discussed here before. We were here very recently when the displaced threshold was being put in place and visibility dropped almost immediately, making it almost impossible for landings because Autoland will only work if the ILS is available, but during the displaced threshold that's turned off, so minimum visibility, I believe the default minimum vis here is 262 feet, is that right, or meters? But if you don't have visual on the runway at that point, you're not to land. Kiarka, I think Autoland does use the speed brakes, you know? Triggered. Yeah, obviously on an Autoland there is no minimum visual level. You can set one, but there is none technically because the aircraft is using the ILS to guide it down. Whereas if they were flying manually, they have to be able to see the runway themselves. So there's one for you. Someone else can answer for me. Stephen wants to know, what's the difference between Cat 3, A, B and C? I know the difference between Cat 1, 2 and 3, but I don't know the difference between A, B and C. No bonus points if you use Google. ERB, do you know who I have to give credit to? Chicago Flights. I know he doesn't talk on the stream. He is active in the chat while streaming. But if you'd see the snow he was out in last night and kept going, fair play. I believe Mark is his name. I've just changed the wrong setting. Sorry. Helen, Happy New Year to you.
13, hello, enter runway 28 left, this nice, report to cabin. 915, unit call, right here, contact line, bye-bye.
Right here, Route 120, now 130, complete.
So, Kiarka saying the difference between A, B and C is the different decision heights and minimum. So basically the minimum, again, visibilities that they're allowed to use on approach when not flying Autoland. So on the ILS, part of their approaches will always be done by the onboard system, the autopilot. When they establish on the ILS, that guides them down. It sets what's called their glide slope. It basically sets them on what's it called? Preferred angle of attack descent to make it as smooth as possible, but obviously not uncomfortable for those on board with a rapid descent. I think Dublin is 3 degrees. Would that be correct, Kiarka? There are some other airports with more severe descent rates than Dublin. But again, the Autoland obviously has its limitations with likes of crosswinds and stuff like that. So
213 vacated there at the Air 7 runway condition is right over.
U13, thank you. Hold short of runway 28 left and contact ground again. 121 decimal 8. Bye.
Peter, how do?
Contact ground 111.8 and hold short of all runway. Thank you. Ready, 1 train.
So there you go. It is a 3-degree. Motorcycles. So, nearest aircraft, 3 minutes, 4 minutes out. British Airways, 320 from Heathrow. We have a Turkish 321 from Istanbul. Things are getting fierce sparse looking again. EIDW coming from Edinburgh. They missed the trick not sending that to Turkey, but yeah. Liam, same to you. Happy New Year to you. So, London City, for example, is a 5.5 degree steep approach. Obviously, with all the buildings in the area, they have to descend later, whereas here in Dublin, they start their descent over the Irish Sea. The descent into London City will be shorter due to the presence of high-rise buildings. Peter says, today I've seen a big aircraft C5M. What's that? Super Galaxy, isn't it? C5 Super Galaxy? Yeah, if you want to see some great landings, have a look at the Madeira streamers. Madeira classified as a captain-only landing. Only the captain is allowed, and they have to have undergone, I believe, specific training for Madeira. Would that be right? I believe there's a storm to hit Portugal and Spain over the next 48 hours, so Madeira will be the one to be watching. So Kiarka says, yeah, captain only landing and sim training. There's no ILS at Madeira. I believe it's an ORNAV approach. Peter says, yep, Super Galaxy, only the Antonov. We don't speak of the Antonov here. The mods all lose their mind and start shouting la 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 and putting their fingers in their ears. ERB, I think it's mad. Obviously, there's a couple of airports that are very similar that have really crazy approaches, but that really short turn just over the hills as they come into Madeira. It looks awesome, especially the vantage point they have above the runway there. I know there's a few streamers now that run multiple views, one on the hill and one down below. But yeah.
Clear to land, runway 28 left, I'll be with 826.
Bombardier Challenger 605 from Farnborough, 2 out. Did someone say the A word? Yeah, they're all gone off the deep end. What you doing, birdie? So I am gonna flick to manual on the focus now, just because we're getting that bit darker. Just give me a second to tune it in. There we go. Do I see now Flight Radar have a 24-hour camera at St. Martin, I believe. MCAS, Happy New Year to you as well. That didn't exactly work, did it? Innsbruck is one of the first challenges you do in a 747 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, believe it or not. As well as Madeira, it's also one of the landing challenges. Now, we're going to be constantly messing with settings to get the brightness right as it gets darker. So the manual focus won't suit all distances between me and the aircraft, but it's better than constantly looking for focus. Oh, it's Bacula.
Good day, Echo India, Whiskey Fox India, ILS 28 left, approaching 2 miles.
Echo India, Whiskey Fox out of India, good afternoon, surface wind 280 degrees, 8 knots, runway 28 left, cleared land.
Cleared land, runway 28 left, Echo India, Whiskey Fox India.
Thomas, same to you. Happy New Year. Air France 19 out. Is it a Wookiee? Adrian says someone obviously put BA's nose out of joint. It's Count Bacula. Looks like it has fangs.
Pakistan Whiskey Romeo, good day. Continue approach. Surface wind 280 degrees 8 knots. Echo New Whiskey Foxtrot India, vacate Sierra 4 Sierra and contact ground and 121.8. Bye.
Sierra 4, Sierra, ground 11.3.
EI Wi-Fi. And Turkish on
Surface
approach.
Whiskey Romeo, wind 280 degrees 8 knots.
I'm going to adjust this because it doesn't look like it's working that well. So the manual focus is currently set on the landing gear, but obviously as I change zoom levels the focus point changes, so
Romeo, vacate Sierra 5 Sierra and contact
Jeffrey,
ground 121.8.
evening to you.
Bye.
118 and Sierra 5 Sierra. Bye-bye, Turkish 9 Whiskey Romeo.
So we have EIDW coming from Edinburgh, we have Ryanair from Krakow, we have Air France Wookie from Paris, and behind that a Ryanair from Stansted. So should keep us a little bit busier for the next little while, hopefully.
778 Hotel Delta, please regret to continue approach. Surface wind 280 degrees 50, number 1.
286, continue approach 9 SLS.
Go for a gear drop. Obviously, every little movement at this zoom level is crazy on the lens, so I'm doing what I can. I'll leave it without touching it if I can. There's floof coming off that, as you can see.
Ryanair 78 Hotel Delta, wind 280 degrees 7 knots, runway 28 left. Ryanair 74 Tango Golf today, continue approach, wind 280 degrees 8 knots to number 2.
That's how far it actually is out. Ooh, too far.
Wind check 280 degrees 8 knots.
So straight headwind, straight down the runway centre line, and 8 knots is what ATC are given. Haven't been on easterlies for nearly the last 2 weeks. Back to westerlies today. Switched over around 8 or 9 o'clock last night, I believe.
Good afternoon, your number 2, continue approach, wind 280 degrees 7 knots.
Sinead.
Ryanair 78 Hotel Delta, the K50,
Boyfriend is on the Bristol Ryanair coming in, told him to shine. What seat do we know, Sinead? Wave on a flashy light. Another wave. Why did I not think that was the Bristol flight? I didn't even realise. Apologies. I thought it was next. Being watched. Look. Bob, afternoon, and Happy New Year to you.
I'm sure 120, can you have 4 things wrong that you want? All right.
Ryanair 4 with USC wind 29 degrees 6 knots from a 28 left, clear to land.
Contact Ryanair 4 with you.
Oh, look who it is. You can stay out of focus.
05 Sierra 118 Ryanair 4 with whiskey, bye. Thank you.
Woof gonna have me in a huff.
Ryanair 290 Crosswind Airport. 28 degrees 7 knots from a 28 left, clear to land.
The stream wouldn't be a stream without our little yellow friends. We're gonna see.
Target A17812, straight left 11.
Ryanair 7812, good day. Continue approach, wind 280 degrees 6. Number 2.
Give them a can of winglet paint for a New Year's present. It'll be quiet later, I might fly out and sort it out, you know. So I did mention it earlier on, but don't forget folks, Jerry from Big Jet will be on about 10 PM, I think it's scheduled for tonight. His usual hotel location for New Year's planes and fireworks. And then you can jump over to JFK if you're staying up late and do the same with LA flights. We do have a twofer. Jilly, that won't bother me in the slightest. Poor Adrian now. Adrian would quit streaming if that never happened to poor Retro. I think he's listed it as the condition that would actually stop him streaming. Air France A330 Wookie. The Swookie earlier on denied us. Will Le Wookie do the same? I am adjusting as we go for brightness. Which involves taking my glove off, getting really cold. Adrian, yep, when Retro goes, so do I. You can just keep starting and stopping your engine. Eventually, your battery will go. Although Sky Up makes me happy, so you might stay for that. Do it. Got the wave. Whoa, Bob. Wow. Bob, after gifting 50 memberships to the Spotters Club, Bob, thank you very much. Even though we were denied a Wookiee. I haven't been able to say this in about a year and a half, nearly 2 years, but I think that may have just given us a new emoji. I think. I'll check later. Then we have to vote on what we pick. Bob, same to you. Happy New Year, and thank you very much. Did you see that? Karka, we got a speed brake wave. There's one Ryanair pilot that usually sends a message after they do that into the chat. That's what we got there. The lift and drop of the speed brakes / ground spoilers / poor Karka curled up in a ball. So we have a Wookiee emoji. Sandra's voting for Wookiee denied. You know what's not happening? A yellow winglet emoji. It's not even going to be an option. Yellow Speedos. I don't actually have anything against the colour yellow. It's just the fact that it's wrong on that plane.
And contact ground 121 decimally. Bye-bye.
05 round 01218. Bye-bye.
Can we have a sky up one? Ooh. Have to wait and see whether they actually keep coming or not. Stephen says, what about an ATC emoji? Like the tower, maybe? I don't know. Ado, Wookiees will be more prevalent on the likes of the A220s, the Embraer E2s, and the 320 Neos that are operating the Pratt Whitney GTF engines. OMG, thank you for 11 months in the Spotters Club. Antonov emoji. Could you imagine them poor mods every time? Seymour, Happy New Year to you.
Wind check 30037.
We have discussed it before. Based on the research I've done, it's harmonic resonance due to changes in the combustion chamber that cause the Wookiee noises on the GTF engines. So basically, as power is applied, for instance, as they turn off here at Sierra 5, having slowed down on the taxi, they power up to carry on down the taxiway, or when they first power up for departure, or when reverse thrust is applied. We've heard them on landing as well. Day 2 of turkey and ham soup. We had a carbonara with the leftover ham.
Contact ground 121 decimally. Bye-bye.
050 Shamrock 5. How you doing? Goodbye.
Mr. Serial says now it's the 31st of December. It is. For at least the next 8 hours. However, there's a 50% probability that in about 8 hours' time it'll be the 1st of January. Oh, what's happened? Look away for a second. Stephen says, what do you mean by at least the next 8 hours? Yeah, in 8 hours' time it won't be the 31st of December. Or thereabouts. It's 4 p.m. Air Canada 893, only a few minutes away by the looks of it. It's a Diversion Dreamliner. Flying Rome to Montreal. Okay. That's not what that is. That's a British Airways. So, as they intercept the localizer, which is the ILS, you'll see the aircraft turn towards the runway. That's when the onboard takes over there. It turns the aircraft automatically onto the approach path. They'll report established then to ATC, and then that's around 3,000 feet, and they'll disengage the autopilot at a level of their choosing and hand fly the aircraft the remainder of the way. That's how far out that is. Charlotte, Happy New Year to you, and thank you for being here with us for all of 2025.
Charlie, G'day, wind 290 degrees 10 knots, runway 28 left, clear front.
Air Canada should be turning in behind that. If I see it, I will get a goo. Is it diversion or squawking emergency, or what's the story? So, normal squawk, no 7700. It had made it out into the Atlantic and turned back. Wow. Just a divert, so possibly another medical, you won't know. None of our business really. But we're happy to see it nonetheless. Brian, happy birthday to you. I have no emergency rollout yet that I can see. Oh, I see blues in the distance. I don't know whether that's for here or not though.
Juliet Charlie, the case Sierra 4, then right again onto Sierra.
Right, Sierra 4, Sierra. I want you to.
Sorry, 1 Juliet Charlie, thank you, once again. Contact ground 121.8. Bye.
Once again, 128. Cheers, 1 Jet. Charlie.
Brian, Adrian said that picture features aircraft from your childhood. That wasn't the intention, but he was being mean about it. Johnny, enjoy the evening. Happy New Year to you. Shredderhead, Happy New Year to you. You ratted him out. Damn right I did. Right out in front of the Orford bus. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you shortly, Brian. Scary, same to you. Happy New Year. Right, we are getting to that point where obviously it's getting darker. It's not about the camera at this point, it's about me being on the side of the road here in the dark. I don't want to cause an obstruction for anyone with the van parked up on the side of the road and no lights on. We're not there yet, probably another 20 minutes or so, but we'll see. Right. Oh, the Air Canada has gone in the other side, has it? The diversion has gone in north runway. So, Air Canada landing on 28 right, unfortunately, out of our view. So we don't get a glimpse of it at all, unfortunately, the amount of hedging between us and them. Patricia, the north runway is the longer runway, and especially if they have heavy fuel amounts on board. There didn't appear to be any holding pattern, so there was no fuel dump done. I can hear the reversers anyway, but I can't see it unfortunately. Doesn't appear to be any issue anyway. ATC telling the next departing aircraft to line up and wait. So down safely by the sounds. We have seen that previously with heavies coming in on diversion. They land on the north runway. If you remember, during the summer we were here and the Swiss 777 diverted in. It landed north side as well. Uncle Phil, how do? And Happy New Year to you. So precautionary, they'll use the longer runway. It gives them more of a rollout, so they're not as harsh on the brakes, especially when they're heavier than what they would be optimum. Normally they're fueled to be below a certain weight for when they're landing, but because this one hadn't completed its journey, it turned back over the west coast. It would have been heavier than what they planned to be when they get to Montreal. So they'll use the north side as a precaution, and they'll have the emergency vehicles there just to check the brake temps after they land. Did you just call me Dean? Brian says the Air Canada diversion would have had almost 4 hours of flying done, so wouldn't have needed to dump fuel. There you go. Yeah, pretty sure you just called me Dean. That's a paddling. He turns up 3 days out of 4 and then suddenly everyone's Dean, huh?
Wind check, 29 degrees 8.
So, departures resuming north side. Why you turn off your lights? I'm back on again. Martin, Air Canada diversion, landed on 28 right. Carca, lighters. So that's the second Dreamliner diversion of the day. There was a Turkish one earlier that Dean got.
Channel 5 no whiskey, right Sierra, ground 128. Right Sierra, 21.8, Shamrock 5 command, right. Channel 5, 7 kilo, 906, 7, and right.
I just thought you meant you were gone, hitting the bottle. You saw nothing. There definitely wasn't two planes. Am I going to be live all night? No, I'm finishing up in the next 10-15 minutes or so.
Hello, first right Sierra 4 and then right Sierra.
First right, Sierra 4 and right up Sierra, just a minute.
Right, 6803, wind 280 degrees, take off, traffic to the left, straight land. Straight land, away. Echo 256. Information, there's a Medevac helicopter inbound the zone from the south. He's going to try to set down at Beaumont. He is just about 3 miles west of Bray at the minute, inbound for the city centre. Thank you. Jameson 57 kilo, ground 12.8.
21.8 Jameson, 57 kilo, happy New Year.
So Dublin Tower, FedEx 520.
Lady 757, Happy New Year to you.
FedEx 5201 Dublin, hello, continue approach, your number 1, wind 280 degrees, 7 knots. Continue approach, FedEx 5201. Fine, 6803, right, Sierra, ground 12.8. Right up there, 1.8.
Now, we're not going to stare straight into the lights. 4 more landing and then a big gap. We'll call it there. So after the 4, 767 cargo next.
Roger, no problem at all. The other Medevac is about 5 miles south of the city centre now and he'll be landing here at Dublin Airport. Alright, thanks for the call.
Medevac helicopter inbound landing at the airport.
Medevac 117, Dublin, very good evening. Continue inbound Dublin Airport for landing at the field. QNH is 1028. Runway 28 left for arrival at Dublin. Medevac 117, 2,000 feet or below is approved VFR. And Medevac 117, are you happy to set down at the apron or do you require a runway to let set down? Roger, copy that, thank you. FedEx 5201, vacate first right Sierra 5 and then right on Sierra, please. Sierra 50, FedEx 5201. KLM 43 Yankee, surface wind 28 degrees, 8 knots. 28 left, good land. Sorry, 2 left, good land, 43 Yankee.
Just in case Dreamweaver is watching.
Tower, FedEx 5201, you want to switch ground or back to you? FedEx 5201, ground 121 display, please, thank you. Okay, good day. Thank you. Runway 34, midpoint, copy, Medevac 117.
Anchorage, Snowy Mountains, anyone? Anyone? No. Just saved us all £2,000 in airfare. Don't need to go to Anchorage. Sarah Jane, you are most welcome.
Medevac 117. And copy, Medevac 117. Got a traffic on a 4 miles climb, landing in about 2 minutes. Are you happy to hold south of the field to let that traffic land? Okay, I'm happy to make south of the field to let traffic, American traffic.
Are we seeing a
Medevac 117.
Stump Korsky?
Just remain south of the field for now, we'll get you across as quick as possible. Remain south of the field, Medevac 117.
It's been almost a year since we've seen a Sikorsky here at the airport when they switched over to the Bristow helicopters.
Medevac 117.
CGI snow. Oh, KLM 321 Neo. Pretty. Looking real pretty.
And the other station one. Medevac 117, just for your information, stand number 144 Charlie is where the ambulance is being. Medevac 117, yes, that is copy. You can expect to set down on runway 34 midpoint, and then it's going to be a short taxi then for your down. 34, runway 34 midpoint, Medevac 117. Would you like to follow me into that stand? Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, that far out, every movement is chaos. I'm going to leave it on normal zoom levels now and just watch it come in.
Medevac 117, surface wind 280 degrees at 7 knots. You can set down runway 34 midpoint. Set down runway 34 midpoint. Medevac 117.
Rob, thank you very much.
From the 9 right 0, vacate 05, then right on 0. 05, right on 0, out of 9.
So Medevac 117 as opposed to Rescue 117. Interesting. Not what you want to be seeing on a New Year's Eve. So best wishes to all those on board. Obviously it's for a reason. Those little lights on the back there are what light up the tail fin, shining upwards.
Into the right at Echo 2, that's about 500 meters overhead. The right Echo 2, there's a vehicle there waiting for you. Thank you. Taxi right turn Echo 2, follow me. Ryanair 99 uniform version 69 uniform uniform, continue approach to number 1, and the wind is 280 degrees at 8 knots. Just feel approach to it right now.
So what we heard initially was they were going to land at Beaumont directly. That changed. ATC said they were going to land at Beaumont. That changed. They're after coming in here where they'll be met by an ambulance. And I presume transfer to Beaumont by road.
Medevac 117, contact ground on 125.885, thank you. Contact tower 125.88. And I checked that frequency, it's 125.885. Sorry, correction, 125.885. Ryanair 69 uniform, wind 280 degrees, 8 knots, runway 28 left, clear to land.
Last one, folks. I'm going to put my head torch on now, just so I'm not causing hassle for anybody as they go by. So transfers to Beaumont are usually for head injuries. They have a specialist centre there for serious head injuries. That's what you'll see a lot of people move to Beaumont for. I don't want to speculate though, obviously, but that's what that hospital is specialised for. James, Happy New Year to you. Nat man, same. Happy New Year. Scannable. Folks, last one for 2025. And then it looks like 2026 could be getting off to a bit of a bang. Someone says there may be another 747. We'll see. I'll research it. I won't get your hopes up. There could be a 747 though. But I won't get your hopes up. ERB, same to you. Bob, thank you. And same to you. Happy New Year. Brian, enjoy the birthday. And Happy New Year.
Echo 256, hello again, zone entry approved, not about 1,500 feet, solid seat is entrance, unit is 1028. Echo 256, yeah, that's fine, south is to Romeo 139. Echo 256, runway 28 left is the news for arrival.
Rob, same to you. Freddie, Kiarka. Who knows what 2026 will bring us? Might even be a weekly 747.
Ontario, regular leaving Ryanair 227.
Tess, same to you. DJ, Happy New Year.
Ryanair 227, Papa.
Sandra and David, same to you.
Ryanair 69, uniform info, like the mirror, contact line 1218, right the area, 120.
Neil by Blindy. Oh no, there's another one. Paddy, most welcome. The camera does a great job of hiding how dark it is. Let me show you what it's like without the ISO settings turned up crazy. So I'm using this camera that was bought for this reason. Mohanikas, same to you. Happy New Year. And Stephen, same. My car looks good. Shredderhead, Happy New Year. Your first full year of retirement as well. Congrats.
Ryanair 5, your uniform name and traffic information. Helicopter will be operating south of the approach to runway 28 left, inside or on.
Copy, Ryanair 50.
Richard, chat soon. No, has not.
Ryanair 227 Papa, base Cape Sierra 5 to Sierra.
Okay, Sierra 5, 2 p.m.
Thank you, Ryanair 227 Papa, contact ground, 121.8. Bye. Ryanair 5, your uniform name and traffic information. 7 up, 28 left, 89.
Wendy, same to you. Happy New Year. Thanks for spending 2025 with us. Right, folks, I'm off to work. You will see me, well, you might not see me, lurking in the big jet stream later on. Wherever you are, Happy New Year to you, and wishing you all the best. And keep an eye. We were planning on streaming Friday anyway, but we may have another special arrival.
Ryanair 5, your uniform name and information. That helicopter in the left-hand side. It won't be any further north than the current position.
No problem, we have a flight here, Ryanair 5, your uniform.
Thank you, and wind check 28 degrees, 8 knots.
No, I haven't used VATSIM yet. I use Beyond ATC currently. There is plans to, but we'll see. I don't know. Right. See you later.